Today in Urban Upgrade, we are fleshing out our dream home theater system by adding music. Now, if you remember, the goals of this whole installation is to create the perfect system for this particular environment, a small condo. Now, we're really fortunate in how we're going to be setting up our music here because the home theater in a box from Panasonic that we chose has a built-in iPod dock. So our decisions are really easy. All we have to do is use the iPod dock, but that works great for this homeowner who has all of her music on her iPod. So it's the easiest route to getting her music on her home theater system. And that's always going to be a goal, regardless of what type of home theater system you install. You want to get the music off your computer, off your iPod, off your home server. You want to get that music playing through the home theater system because that's the best sound system in the house. As I said, this one here is a really easy solution. There are more elaborate solutions, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. Let me show you how we actually get the music playing. I'm going to change sources here so that I can choose my HDMI source, which is what my home theater system is on as far as my cabling goes. And then I'm doing the remote mambo here because I have to switch remotes. Now, a little bit later in this series, we're going to show you universal remotes. That'll mean that we only need a single remote to control all of our components. But for now, on this remote here, we have an iPod button. This is the remote for my home theater. When I click the iPod button, it then launches the iPod and drives all of the different content through to the screen so that I can manage it. And we see here that I've got access to my playlists, my artists, all of my different iPod data. Now, this isn't quite as nice as if I had it in iTunes running. If you had, say, installed here an Apple TV, it would show us iTunes and would have cover flow and all sorts of nice graphics. But this is very functional because I have access to the most important stuff. The most important stuff is my songs, my playlists. So if I'm having a dinner party and I want blues and swing on in the background, I select that playlist from my set of playlists, and now I've got the music playing in my home. For this homeowner, this is a really elegant, efficient way to get music into her home theater system. There are other ways, though. We're going to talk to Frankie down at London Drugs about those. Here I am at London Drugs with my AV expert Frankie, who's going to tell me how to get music into my home theater system if I have an iPod.
If you have an iPod, the easiest thing to do is to buy the Apple iPod dock. It ships with all the plates, and it also comes with a great little remote here.
Okay, now the plates that you're talking about here will actually modify the dock to allow it to accept any version of the iPod that you happen to have. And then the remote is great because you can use it, it works really well. Now, how do I actually connect the dock to my home theater system though?
Very easy. There's a stereo mini out on here.
Okay.
So all you need to do is get a
cable,
cable with a stereo mini out, and then 2 RCA.
And that's the key. It's the stereo mini out to the 2 RCA cables. You don't want to go mini to mini. You want to go to the RCA cables, and that's what you plug into your home theater system. And then you use the auxiliary input to select it. Now, will this also work with other versions of MP3 players? Is this what you recommend if you have a different type of MP3 player?
The cable will, yeah. So just plug that into the stereo mini out.
So you plug it directly into the stereo mini. I guess this will work with my computer too if I want to take music directly out of my computer.
That's right.
So this is the simplest, most direct route. There are other options. Other manufacturers of MP3 players have docks for their MP3 players, I guess. And also other home theater makers, they also have sometimes docks that'll cosmetically fit in. But this is the most simple and cost-efficient direct system that you know is going to work. There's also wireless systems, which maybe if we have time a little bit later in the season, we'll talk about. So that's the iPod story from Frankie.